Hello, and thank you for being here today. It's a pleasure and it's a blessing for me to be able to provide you with information and meditation to truly go within and speak with your inner child and see what is needed within you. My name is Tasha. I am a psychic medium, owner of Lips of a Goddess, and I thank you for being here. You can also find me at www.lipsofagoddesspsychicmedium.com. Now I'd like to speak a little bit on the inner child and do a meditation as well. The inner child is, we all grow up and we all, but we always, we forget that that inner child exists within us. Now it doesn't matter how old you are, there is a little child within who needs love and acceptance. Especially if you're a woman also, no matter how self-reliant you are, you have a little girl who is very tender and needs help. And if you're a man, no matter how macho you are, you still have a little boy inside who craves warmth and affection. So, as children, when something went wrong, we tended to believe that there was something wrong within us, or there's something wrong with us. Children develop the idea that if they could only do it right, then parents and caregivers would love them, and they wouldn't punish them. So in time, the child believes there's something wrong with me, I'm not good enough, and as we grow older, we carry these false beliefs with us. We learn to reject ourselves. Okay, so there is a parent inside each of us, as well as a child, and most of the time, the parent scolds the child and almost non-stop. So if we listen to our inner dialogue, we can hear that scolding. We can hear the parent tell the child that what it's doing wrong and how it's not good enough. We need to allow our parent to become more nurturing to our child. Okay, so this has to do with healing the hurts of the past also. I have found that working with the inner child is most valuable in helping to heal the hurts of the past. So at this point in our lives right now, we need to begin to make ourselves whole and accept every part of who we are. We need to communicate with our inner child and let it know that we accept the part that did all the stupid things, the part that was funny looking, the part that was scared, the part that was very foolish and silly, every single part of ourselves. Now, love heals. Love is the greatest healing power I know. Love can heal even the deepest and most painful memories because love brings the light of understanding to the dark corners of our mind. And no matter how painful our early childhood was, loving our inner child now will help us to heal it. Now, in the privacy of our own minds, we can make new choices and think new thoughts. Thoughts of forgiveness and love our inner child will open pathways, and the universe will support us in our efforts. Now, learning to work with your inner child isn't about becoming childish again. It is about reconnecting with your childlike side. In other words, there is a big difference between being childish and childlike. Being childish can be thought of as behaving in an immature or a naive way, and being childlike, on the other hand, can be thought of as a state of purity and innocence. Now, we all have the capacity to experience our original innocence, that period in our lives when we saw the world with openness and wonder. And in order to remove that guilt and that shame, that fear, that hatred, the anger that we carry with us, we have to heal the child within. And to do this, we must earn the trust of our inner child through love and self-nurturing. Now, please, if you have the time, to get a pen and a piece of paper. And just take some little notes as I go along and write some things down. And I will allow you a moment to do so. Okay, so, and let me begin. Speaking to your inner child. That's acknowledging your inner child and letting your inner child know that you are there for it. To treat it with kindness and respect. Now, write these few things down. These are some self-nurturing things that you could say to your inner child. The first one, I love you. I hear you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I forgive you. And again, I will repeat these just in case. Please write down. These are self-nurturing things to say to your inner child. Every day, at least once a day or morning or night, look yourself in the mirror and truly speak to yourself, your inner child, and say, I love you. I hear you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I forgive you. Please read these off in the order that I spoke of them. Doing it 3 times, at least once a day. Repeating it 3 times, at least once a day. If not morning when you wake up, and night before you go to bed. And just make a habit of talking to your inner child. You could also communicate through journal and just asking your inner child a question and writing down the response as well. And also, look at pictures of yourself as a child. Go through old photo albums and rediscover what your younger self looked like. And let that image be burned into your brain because it will serve you well throughout the rest of your inner child work. You might even like to put photos of yourself next to your bedside, on the table, your wallet, or around the house, just to remind yourself of your inner child's presence. Okay. Now, and also, there's also a good thing that you can recreate what you love to do as a child. Sit down and just think about what you loved to do when you were a child. Maybe you liked climbing trees. Maybe you liked playing with blocks, cuddling with toy bears, just anything. Make time to include whatever activity you love to do as a child in your present life to bring forth that now, that joy. Now, through inner child work that I've done with clients, they've let me know that they connected to sides of themselves that they never even knew existed as adults. This discovery is truly life-changing, and it's important that you make a habit of this playtime and explore any embarrassment or silliness you feel towards it. It's completely normal to feel a bit foolish at first, but it's important to keep an open mind. Okay, so now this inner child is about an inner journey, and it's one of the most powerful ways to reconnect with your inner child, to heal childhood traumas. And this is to do the inner journey. Okay, now this has to do with meditation and visualization. Okay, so in order to do these inner journeys, it is important that you first gain that trust of your inner child. Okay, once you have developed that strong connection to your inner child, you can then ask your inner child to reveal what earlier life circumstances created the trauma you're struggling with today, was keeping you stuck and preventing you from moving forward today, that happened in your childhood. Okay, so let's do a little meditation. I ask for you to just close your eyes and just be present. And this has to do with just visualizing, okay? So truly, just be in a quiet space and close your eyes, okay? And just take a deep breath through your nose, releasing through your mouth, letting go of all of your worries, just being in this moment. And again, take a deep breath through your nose, holding it for a few seconds. And release. Releasing all your worries and stress. And again, deep breath through your nose. Release. Just let your body relax. Letting go of all the tension. Letting your muscles relax. Relax your whole body. Let your feet relax, your legs, your arms. Let your mind just be. Relax your hands, your fingers. Just feel like you're just floating. Okay, so connecting to your inner child through meditation is a passive process. It's simply breathe deeply and relax. Allow yourself to witness your thoughts and ask your question, any question, to your inner child. Now, for example, you might like to ask, "Dear inner child, when was the first time I experienced trauma in my life?" And just allow yourself to witness the thoughts that rise and fall within your mind. Your inner child may or may not decide to reveal the answer to you, but always remember to be patient, loving, and accepting. If your inner child doesn't want to reveal the answer, embrace that. It's important that your inner child feels very safe and that your inner child feels secure and ready. Now, you might like to repeat your question every now and then if nothing of significance arises inside of your mind. This process could take anywhere from a couple of minutes to 1 hour or even longer. Let's try this one more time. Again, relax your body and your mind, letting go and just being in this moment. Take a deep breath through your nose, releasing out through your mouth, letting go of all the worry and stress. Again, deep breath. Letting go of all that worry. And one more time. Take a deep breath through your nose and hold it for a few seconds. Releasing through your mouth. Letting go. Feeling that breath just go. Relaxing your body. Okay. Now again, ask your inner child the question that you want to know. For example, you could ask, "Dear inner child, when was the first time I experienced trauma in my life?" Or, "Dear inner child, what area of my life needs healing for me to move forward?" And just allow yourself to witness the thoughts that rise and fall within your mind. Your inner child may or may not decide to reveal the answer to you. But remember to be patient, to always be loving and accepting. If your inner child doesn't want to reveal the answer, just embrace that. It's very important that your inner child feels safe, secure, and ready. Now you may repeat your question every now and then. If you still haven't received an answer, this process could take anywhere from a couple of minutes to an hour or even longer. Patience is definitely required. In order to do this inner child meditation, you'll definitely need to have experience in meditating. It's learning to witness your thoughts. This can take a lot of practice. So if you're not used to meditating, you might struggle with this technique. That's okay. Practice is always a good thing. Now, it's all about visualizing also. A more active way to connect with your inner child and earlier life traumas is through visualization. Now, to connect with your inner child through visualization, you must create a power place or a safe place. To do this, you must visualize a beautiful garden or even any type of place in which you feel safe, empowered, and whole. After entering your power place, you can then invite your inner child to speak with you. So let's relax. Stay relaxed. Close your eyes and just breathe deeply. Deep breath through your nose. Releasing through your mouth. Again, deep breath through your nose. Releasing all that no longer serves us through our mouth. One more time. Deep breath through your nose. Releasing out through your mouth, allowing our bodies to just relax. Keep your eyes closed. Imagine you're walking down a staircase. At the bottom of the staircase is your power place or a safe place. In this place, you feel strong. You feel safe and supported. Now spend a bit of time in your power place. Soak it in. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? After you have acquainted yourself with your power place, imagine that your younger self has entered, perhaps through a door or a waterfall. Hug your younger self and make them feel home. Make them feel like they're at home. When you're ready, ask your inner child your question. For example, when was the first time I felt sad or scared? Now you might like to phrase the question in a child manner and just await for the response. Make sure you hug them, thank them, and tell them how much they mean to you. Now say goodbye to them and leave your powerhouse, your power place, and ascend up the stairs. Now you can return to normal consciousness. Now, how do you know if your inner child needs healing? Number 1, If you're feeling too scared to be totally open with people, difficulty showing them the real you, that could be something from the inner child. Number 2, being reactive, instantly responding to others defensively rather than fully understand what you feel. And that, for example, could be feeling hurt or scared comes out as anger. And 3, no matter how much effort you put into controlling how your life will unfold, you feel completely out of control. Number 4, have difficulty managing negative thoughts or beliefs about yourself. These are all things that come from the inner child and knowing that the inner child needs healing. A wounded child will go into hiding rather than risk further rejection or pain. If our inner child is our true self, our essence, or who we are in the absence of fear, what remains? Usually a mask of who we are, and thus preventing others to really get to know who we truly are. This can prevent others from getting close to us and cause us to feel helpless and be frustrated that people don't seem to understand who we know. Deep down inside, we really are. The great news is that there are steps to take to overcome a wounded inner child that can lead you to a more positive, genuine life with others. Healing might include developing a strong positive inner voice rather than critical voice of self-abuse. Healing might also include learning how to accurately identify and express the feelings you are experiencing. This is also learning what our needs are individually, outside of relationships, and becoming confident asking for those needs to be met. We can learn how to love and nurture that child again, so he or she comes out of hiding and feels more confident being with others without the mask. When our inner child is loved by ourselves, we can love others without fear, take healthy risks, be genuine, and just reconnect with the interests that enrich our lives and be more confident within ourselves. Now, have you ever thought about why you can't move forward? Have you wondered why you sabotage yourself? Have you ever questioned why you so easily feel anxious, depressed, or self-critical? Inside each of us, there's an inner child that was once wounded. And to avoid that pain, we've tried to ignore that child, but he or she never goes away. Our inner child lives in our unconscious mind, and it influences how we make choices, respond to challenges, and live our lives. I ask of you, as I said a little bit earlier, to say these things every day, looking yourself in the mirror and speaking to your inner child. The first thing is, I love you. As children, a lot of us believe that we needed to accomplish goals, get good grades, make the team, fill our older siblings' footsteps, to be lovable. We may not have had parents who told us we deserved love, no matter what we achieved. Some of us may have had parents who considered showing love and tenderness to be a sign of weakness, but we can tell ourselves that we are lovable now. So say it whenever you see yourself in the mirror. Say it at any random moments. Love is the key to healing, so give it to yourself. The next thing I want you to say every day to yourself for your inner child is, I hear you. Oftentimes, when we feel hurt, we push down our feelings and try to act strong. For a lot of us, this stems from our childhood, when we frequently heard, quit crying or I'll give you something to cry about. But those feelings don't just go away. They fester inside of us, affecting the choices we make as adults until we make the conscious effort to hear them. Okay? So instead of suppressing the voice of your inner child, say, I hear you. We'll work through it. It's going to be okay. The next thing I want you to say to your inner child and yourself is, you didn't deserve this. As children, many of us assume that we deserve to be abused, to be ashamed, and to be abandoned. We told ourselves that we were a bad kid and that we did something wrong. But that's simply not true. In many cases, the people who wounded us simply didn't know any other way. Perhaps your mom was beaten as a child, so it was the only way she knew how to be a parent to her own child. A child is innocent and pure. A child does not deserve to be abused, to be ashamed, or to be abandoned. It's not the child's fault. And though we may not have had the capacity to understand this then, now as adults, we do. The next thing that I want you to say to yourself and your inner child daily is, I'm sorry. I've always been an overachiever, considering slowing down a sign of weakness. Okay, so there's that I'm sorry, and you don't deserve, you were pushed so hard that you don't deserve it now as an adult. So the I'm sorry helps heal the inner child. And the next thing I want you to say to your inner child and yourself is, I forgive you. One of the quickest ways to destroy ourselves is to hold on to shame and regret. Okay, so saying, I forgive you. And the next thing to say is, thank you. Thank your inner child for never giving up, for getting through the tough moments in life together with you with strength and perseverance. Thank your inner child for trying to protect you, even if her way or his way was holding on to painful memories. Your inner child doesn't deserve your judgment. She or he deserves your gratitude and your respect. And also, tell yourself and your inner child every day also, you did your best. You did your best. When we let go of perfection, the fear of failure, resides. And then we can allow ourselves to experiment and see how things unfold. Always let yourself and your inner child know that you did your best. Okay, so as children, we perceive the world very differently from our adult selves. And because of this, many of the things we presently assume never hurt us as children may have left deep scars. This is why it's important to never make assumptions about your inner child. Through inner child work, you can learn to grieve, heal, and resolve any sources of trauma you've been unconsciously holding on to for years. And this can liberate you and allow you to just live your life of true adulthood, emotional balance, and just well-being. Inner child work is very important. It's where a lot of things stem from. Once we begin paying attention to our inner child and knowing that that child hasn't went away, that that child was just abandoned, and we need to really truly go within and speak with that child and heal so that we can move ahead and move forward with love and understanding and confidence, and knowing that all that we felt then is not all that is as of now. Take the time today to truly tap into that inner child and just love that child that resides within you. I love you all so very much from the bottom of my heart. I am here for you. If you need assistance, please contact me. I work with clients on inner child work. If you truly want to take that step and you want that help and that guidance, just let me know. I love you all. Blessings.